vegans are eating plants. You know, we live in a world where for something to live, something else has to die. Like whatever it is, whether it's a plant, whether it's an animal, something has to die.
Do you think there's a moral difference between me, say, killing a carrot or killing an animal, a dog?
Okay, so if you feel that killing a carrot is wrong, it's wrong to you.
Yeah.
If I feel killing an animal's right, it's right to me, based on subjective morality.
But how would you justify it to yourself personally? Because you're saying, but something has to die. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'd say what we value generally is sentience. If there's no because if there's no self-consciousness, there's no being experiencing anything. It's like a rock.
Why is that important?
So do you think rocks could have moral value?
No. If I throw a rock at someone's head, then it...
Because it's hurting a sentient being, though, who experiences pain.
No. If morality is subjective, then why is it wrong to kill an animal?
Because by your subjective morals, I'm saying it's wrong.
Okay, so... okay, so...
Yeah, so...
if I feel it's wrong, it's wrong. If I don't feel it's wrong, it isn't.
Sure,
so
but I'd say if you feel it is wrong for you to kill a human, kill me now, then logically, you'd have to extend that to animals.
Not necessarily.
So what is the difference between me and a pig that justifies that difference in treatment?
I think there's a huge difference between a human being and a pig.
Same, but what is the difference that justifies the difference in treatment?
I'm a human and I'm not a pig.
But what's the trait difference?
I am a human being.
That's arbitrary discrimination, right?
No.
You need to name the trait. You need to name the trait difference between me and a pig. Otherwise, you're saying they don't belong in my group, and I could justify racism or sexism with the same thing.
But I'm saying we are the same species.
Yeah. And I could say he's the same race as me.
Okay.
So what is the meaningful trait difference?
I don't think it matters because you've said morality is subjective. So if I feel eating meat is wrong, it's wrong. If I feel eating meat is right, it's right.
It's an inconsistent view, though.
Yeah,
and by your system of ethics, if you think it's wrong,
I don't believe morality is subjective. That's what you believe.
You think it's objective?
I don't believe morality is subjective. I believe there are clear factors that feed into why things are right and wrong. But
so do I.
But what I'm saying, if you're saying that eating meat is wrong if I feel so, then if I just decide tomorrow that eating meat is right, it's okay. If I just decide on Tuesday eating meat is wrong,
it's not. I'm not. By saying it's subjective, I'm not saying that you can do anything you want. I'm saying that it doesn't exist outside of sentient beings. So if we weren't here, there wouldn't be a morality. But that doesn't mean I can justify anything. I'm saying with your system of ethics, you value certain things, and then by killing animals, you're contradicting your own morals there.
I think that I can appreciate a vegan choosing not to eat animals that come from factory farming. I completely appreciate it because if you even just compare the meat quality between a factory farmed animal to like a grass-fed lamb, the meat in the grass-fed lamb is of a far higher quality because of the nutrients that they're getting from the...
One animal in front of you now, not a factory, one happy animal. I get a gun out and pull the trigger to a dog. Is it wrong morally?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I like the way the dog tastes. I get a gun out, pull a trigger. Do you think there's anything unethical about what I'm doing?
It depends why you're doing it. Why are you
I like the way the dog tastes. I have a vegan burger on the table I could eat to get all my nutrients. I like the way that dog tastes. Is it wrong?
I don't eat dog. Chinese people eat dog. If you ask a Chinese person...
Okay, I'll swap it with a cow.
You know what I mean? It depends. Like, I don't think...
So you think...
I don't think you should shoot a dog. I don't think you should shoot a cow to kill it. I think there's a better way to kill a cow than shooting it.
How should I kill it?
I think you can kill it with... I'm not a farmer, so I'm not going to present the I don't know how to kill an animal effectively. I know there's probably an effective way.
Morally, how do you kill an animal morally?
I don't know. I don't want to say I know because I don't know.
Is there an ethical way to kill me if I don't want to die right now?
I don't believe killing humans is right.
Why?
I think there's a big difference between a human being and an animal.
Me too. But why is it wrong to kill a human? I'm thinking about trying to kind of present my opinion in a very orderly fashion. But what I'm saying is, there is a difference between an animal and a human. Me too. I agree.
There is a difference because, for example, do you eat bread?
Yes, I eat bread.
You eat bread.
Yeah.
In the procurement of the grains and the wheat, millions of animals die.
So
wait. I want to say one thing. the road that we're standing on right now is not natural. There were insects and animals that were living on this road who have been killed by the actual placement of this road. But there's a difference between walking on this road and eating meat, so I can appreciate that.
Right. It's not just the bread. In all plant agriculture, there are some insect deaths and small rodent deaths. But the difference there is intense, and I think you sort of touched on it. That when we kill an animal, when we buy animal products, we're purposely condemning an animal to a life of death and probably suffering.
Yeah, but it depends on your moral standpoint. If you believe killing animals is wrong, then it's wrong.
And also, there's more plant-related deaths because we eat animals, because the animals are being fed with plants.
Yeah.
So, do you agree with me that the bread thing doesn't really make sense?
So should animals eat plants?
Should animals eat plants?
You said there's more plant-related death.
Yeah.
Because
we're breeding billions of animals that need to be fed with plants.
Yeah. So is it wrong for an animal to eat a plant?
It's wrong for us to breed them into existence. So if we don't breed them, they wouldn't be there to feed the plant.
Okay, so let's forget about the killing. I understand your position. Are you saying eating anything that's alive is wrong?
No.
Or eating animals is wrong? Because you're saying if we breed animals and they eat plants, that is wrong.
So no, I'm saying
I don't understand.
No. So your point was that insects are killed in plant agriculture.
Yeah, because
and I'm saying, well, to debunk that, if you want to reduce that issue that you care about, you should go vegan until less plants are used.
No, but I don't care about that.
Oh, I thought that was your justification.
I'm saying you care about that because you don't want animals to die.
Yeah, look, I think
if you eat bread, millions of animals
sure,
die
sure.
when you eat bread.
Because they get ground up in not millions, but a significant amount.
You need to eat bread because it's good for your health, you know.
Right.
So come on, you're not eating
yeah. So I think the point you raise is important because I think in an ideal world we should look to reduce the amount of deaths, the accidental deaths in plant agriculture. And I think in a world where we don't even give animals their basic rights not to be killed for necessary reason, people aren't going to care. But ideally, in a vegan world, we can look for solutions to accidental deaths like that. We can have vertical farming where we don't need the grinders. We can have indoor farming where insects aren't killed. There could be solutions.
Here's the reason why I don't believe vegan meat is wrong. Because as we've established, you say if animals eat too many plants, that's wrong.
No, not necessarily.
You just said,
No.
You presented that. You said
no.
If we farm animals, they need to eat a lot of grass.
Yeah.
And that is wrong because they're eating more grass than they should be eating.
Not necessarily. It depends if insects and animals are being killed in the procurement of those crops. But you could hypothetically have a scenario in which that's not happening.
What's your perception of what is your perception of the food chain? The reality that animals are actually literally eating each other on a daily basis.
Do you think that we should use other animals as role models for our behaviour?
It's a question.
Yeah, and I'm returning it and saying, do you think that we can justify our behaviour by what other animals do to each other?
No, it's not that, but it's we are part of that process. We are actually part of that process. For example, as we've established, I don't believe eating plants is wrong. I don't believe eating animals is wrong.
I'd say you're inconsistent
there. I believe eating humans is wrong.
Yeah, but
I believe eating human beings is actually shouldn't be done. I don't agree with cannibalism.
Because they have a will to live and they feel pain.
Because I think there's a difference between a human being.
So do I.
In its glory, I'm going to use the word glory. In its glory and meaning than an animal.
Sure, but you don't. Yeah.
For example, if there's a newborn baby and there's a cow, and I said you have to kill one.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Are you going to kill the cow or the newborn baby? I'm going to kill the cow.
Same here, but that's not the choice.
Value is a lot less
Sure, but that's not the choice we're making. We're choosing between a cow and our taste buds. That's the choice we're making.
No, I appreciate that. Killing animals inhumanely, in my opinion, is morally wrong. Killing animals by clubbing them over the head with a hammer, just gratuitously, that's
why is that wrong?
Because there's no need for that.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
There's no need to kill the animal inhumanely.
There's no need to kill the animal full stop.
I disagree with that.
How? Can you be vegan and be healthy?
No. A lot of the vegans who have been vegan for 10 to 15 years have had a lot of health issues that they believe has come from veganism. I don't know.
Let's look at the science, though.
I don't know.
Let's look at the science.
Let's say one thing. I don't know. You're saying can you be vegan and healthy?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think a balanced diet is better. You don't eat eggs at all.
No.
What about free range eggs?
So a big issue with eggs is...
What about eggs that literally where a cow is living this life is just laying eggs? It's not hurting anybody.
So that's a good question, but a big issue with this is the breeding of the chickens. When they're breeding them, they only need the hens, the females, because they lay the eggs. So the male chicks are useless. They get ground up alive, fully conscious, day old, all the males. They get suffocated in bags. All the animals in the egg industry also get killed for meat in the end when their egg production slows down. So do you agree with eating eggs morally?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with an animal dying.
Do you have an issue with me grinding up male chicks? If I put a chicken into a grinder and press the button?
That's a big difference. You said, do I have a problem with eating eggs?
Yeah?
No.
You pay for it.
If an individual chooses to grind up the male chicks, that's the choice they're making. But the female hen who is laying an egg in isolation, there was nothing wrong with that. Why? Because the egg's not even fertilized.
Sure.
The egg isn't even going to grow into a chick.
But you're forgetting the process of how we get that egg, and you're supporting the industry.
I watched a video of animals being killed inhumanely. And do you know how I felt after I watched it?
How?
It made me appreciate the fact that I could eat meat. Why? Because it made the reality so clear that something has to die for me to live. Whether that's a plant, whether that's an animal, whether that's an amoeba, it doesn't matter. For human beings to live, unless we're eating literally synthetic food that's created in a lab, something has to physically die.
Not sentient beings, though.
For us to live.
Not sentient beings.
Why?
Because plants aren't sentient.
Because that's based on your personal feelings and opinion about the fact that you believe that an animal life is more valuable than a plant.
So do you, though, right?
I do believe an animal life is more valuable than a plant, but I don't have a problem with eating animals. I don't have an issue, but I don't have an issue with people who don't want to eat animals. I say if you don't want to eat an animal, don't do it. No problem.
Would you be able to kill an animal yourself? Would you slit their throat? And did you feel any empathy when you slit the animal's throat?
It was a very visceral experience, but I think it made me appreciate the fact that something I literally killed it. It was a goat about this big.
Yeah.
And I slit its throat and it died. And I was like, wow.
And the fact that you got appreciation from that, does that make any difference to the victim who did not want to die?
No, but I don't. The animal's life doesn't have the same value as the human life.
No, it doesn't need to, though.
I'm saying victim. You said victim. What do you mean by victim? Is the lion who eats the hyena, is the hyena a victim?
Sure.
No, it's a product of the food chain. It is what the actual animal needs to do. It needs to develop coping mechanisms to deter us from being able to kill it. It needs to evolve and develop mechanisms to stop.
What chance did that goat have to evolve from you?
If you take a puppy into the wild, it's gonna die.
But that's not a good justification for me killing an animal now.
No, it's not a justification. It depends on your moral perspective. If you believe, we can agree on the fact that factory farming is wrong. But I don't believe that farming, where the animal roam free, they eat what they want, they poop, they live a decent life.
And then we slit their throat.
By our definition, and they're killed efficiently and in the most painless way possible. There's still pain going to be incurred. Pain is going to be incurred, but we are trying to seek the most painless way possible.
Yeah.
If I hit an animal over the head for 5 hours and it eventually dies, that is not humane. If I kill it within 10 seconds, to me that's a far more effective way of causing less pain on the animal.
It's better, but it's still wrong. There's three options, right? Let me give you these three options.
In your opinion.
Three options for you.
You've said morality is subjective, so you can't say something is right or wrong.
I'm giving three options for you.
It's wrong to you.
Three options for you for your personal morality. Number one, beat an animal for 2 hours before you slit their throat.
There's no need for that.
Number two, slit their throat after they're happy. The happy animal's good life, slit their throat. Number three, leave them alone. No. Which is better morally?
Depends on your position.
For you.
I'm eating the animal irrespective.
Huh?
I'm eating the animal irrespective.
Yeah, but those three choices.
What I'm doing is if I have a choice between a chicken that's been living in a cage all of its life, with like 20 other chickens stuffed into a small cage, and I have a chicken that's lived on a farm, has had a good time, has run around, has played, I'm choosing to eat that chicken.
Okay.
I'm choosing to eat the chicken that's had the better life.
I'm giving you another hypothetical. We have two animals in front of you. One is really happy, great life. Another animal.
How do you define happiness of an animal?
High well-being. They have to do things they enjoy with pleasure. There's less suffering.
Okay.
No suffering. Loads of space, the same way you would. And we've got a second animal. Life is miserable, stuffed into a cage, terrible life. And I put them both out in front of you. Would you kill the happy one over the sad one? Is there a moral difference between the two?
I would kill the one that wasn't in the cage.
Right, so you'd let...
Because the meat quality is better in that one.
No, but ethically, not about the quality of the meat.
But the quality of the meat's a factor.
But again, only ethics here.
No, but you have to define these things. It's like it depends on your viewpoint. If you believe eating meat is wrong, then don't eat it. No problem. And if you want, and if you can kind of propagate that perspective, and people agree with you because they want to feel like they're making a contribution to the world, more power to you. I respect it. I appreciate vegans. What I have an issue with is when people are trying to tell me eating meat is wrong when you're eating something. Like something has to die.
Yeah, but not a sentient life.
Something has to die.
Not a sentient life.
Plants have awareness.
No, they don't.
No.
No, they don't, mate.
photosynthesis is an example of intelligence in a plant.
Intelligence isn't the same as sentience.
But they have intelligence.
There you go.
It's an intelligent life form.
There you go then.
Is it an intelligent life form?
Yes.
So plants are here, animals are here, human beings are here. So human beings.
Plants have no moral value.
In your opinion. In your opinion.
Do rocks have moral value?
In your opinion.
Do rocks have moral?
Depends on your opinion.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm asking you.
Of course they don't, because they're not sentient.
None of these things are obvious. They're things that we have to ask questions to kind of conclude.
Okay, do you think a rock has moral value?
I think a rock is. I don't think, when you say moral value, I don't think a rock is alive in the same way that a plant is.
No, but we don't care if they're alive. We care if they're sentient, have an experience of life.
I think alive is important. It has a life.
So does the HIV virus, should that have moral value?
No, not at all, because that's destroying them.
But they're alive, man.
Yeah, it's definitely alive, but I give you that. I give you that. That's a good example. But again, yeah, I think that I can say I don't agree with the statement. It's unnecessary. I think where do we live? We live in England.
Yeah.
We have the privilege of being able to choose what we eat.
Absolutely.
If you live in Africa, if you live in a poor nation, the animal is keeping you alive.
Sure, but this
the farm animal is keeping you alive.
But we're talking about your life right now.
We're talking about the world.
No, because just because you have to do something to survive in a different scenario, that doesn't justify doing it unnecessarily.
Do you believe that the world would benefit if we ate less meat? The world?
Yes.
Or is veganism only for people who are privileged?
Be a beneficial thing in terms of the environment. But I'm talking about the fact that just because someone else has to do it to survive, that doesn't justify you doing it now. If someone has to kill another human to survive, that doesn't justify me killing another human now.
I believe killing a human being is absolutely wrong.
If they need to survive,
No,
someone's trying to
it's wrong.
they're going to get self-defense.
Self-defense is the only situation where I can understand.
Yeah.
If someone's trying to kill me and they end up dying, I can understand that.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that me killing them is right. It means that I had to kill them to survive.
And does you doing it in that scenario justify you doing it to me now? Killing me?
2 lives have been lost. I don't believe murder under any circumstance except war is wrong. That's the only circumstance when you're actually at war. It's the only circumstance where murder is actually part of it.
But you agree with me in that just because some people have to do it to survive, that doesn't justify me doing it now?
No, it depends. It depends on what you mean. You know, I don't think those two statements are connected. Just because starving Africans need to eat meat to survive, doesn't mean that eating meat is wrong here. Just because starving Africans poop in literally on the ground doesn't mean that I'm going to do that.
Absolutely. There you go. There you go.
But what I'm trying to say is the idea that eating meat is wrong is not true. It depends on what your position is.
Okay.
And number two, what do you feed dogs? Do you feed dogs vegetables? Do you feed dogs meat?
Omnivores. They can live on a vegan diet. A dog in the Guinness Book of World Records. Longest living dog in the Guinness Book of World Records, vegan.
Okay.
There you go, mate.
I'm just going to take your word.
It's an old one, but you can Google it.
I'm going to take your word for that. I'm going to take your word for it. It doesn't matter. A dog will eat anything.
Yeah.
A dog will eat anything. It's not a great example, but the point is, what I've tried to establish is that number one, there's a difference between the moral value of a human life and an animal life.
I agree.
And I don't think I need to even justify that, because if I ask you a question,
I agree with you there.
Would you kill a cow or a baby?
But I agree with that.
Okay, we accept that, and that's great.
Yeah.
Number two, killing animals in the most painless way is the ideal, in my opinion. In terms of the way to eat meat. I would rather an animal be killed quickly and efficiently, and it has the freedom to roam and live a decent life, than an animal
I agree.
trapped in a cage and literally,
I agree with what you're saying here, though, but I still haven't heard a justification.
I don't need to justify it, because we fundamentally have different standpoints on morality.
Because you're saying morality is subjective, so I can justify anything.
You're saying we're so disconnected from the realities of what it means to be a human being, what it means to be an animal, that when we see these videos of people dying, we're like, what the hell are they doing? This is what happens in the wild.
Yeah.
This is what happens in nature.
Doesn't mean it's moral. Doesn't mean it's moral.
No, it's natural.
There's a difference between what's natural and what's moral. You agree?
We're not killing an animal to survive, especially an animal that is on the lower pecking order. It isn't wrong. Because you're saying it's okay to eat plants.
Does a plant have a will to live?
Of course it does.
Absolutely not.
Of course it does. There's certain plants that when certain animals that eat grass, eat certain plants are in the wild, the plants send communicated messages and they become poisonous.
Yeah, they react to stimuli. That's not the same as sentience.
It is intelligence.
Okay, yes.
It's intelligence.
Computers also have intelligence. No. If I blow into a breathalyzer, it reacts to the stimuli. That's a sign of intelligence. You have intellect. Yes.
No.
Yes. Should breathalyzers have rights?
We established before,
Yeah.
a tiger can't eat vegetables.
Yeah, okay, so it can be justified for tiger.
Cannot actually eat vegetables.
Yeah. So if an animal needs you to survive, it can be morally justified. It can be.
So you're saying it's okay for an animal to eat another animal?
Out of necessity.
Out of necessity.
Yeah. And it's okay for you to do it out of necessity, but that's not what's happening.
You're adding necessity. I'm saying it's
Absolutely.
okay for an animal to.
I think it's okay to kill. You could justify killing another human out of necessity. If someone's trying to murder you, and you self-defense out of necessity to save yourself, it can be justified. That doesn't mean I can kill you now if I don't need to.
I don't think it's wrong to kill a cow that's just lived on a farm, is eating grass, it's had a nice life, but when it comes down to be killed, you kill it efficiently, you eat the meat, it's good quality meat, there's no problem with it.
What's the trait difference between me and a cow that justifies that difference in treatment?
Me and you were the same species.
That's appealing to group.
No.
That's appealing to group, but I'm in your group.
Is it wrong to kill a baby? If you had to kill a baby or a cow, what?
No, you're dodging me.
No, it's a question.
I'd kill the cow.
Of course you would.
But I don't need to value the cow the same level as a human in order not to hurt the cow.
No.
I just need to believe that their life is worth more than my taste buds.
No, not at all. Not at all. Because what you're saying is, you're saying a cow's life is valuable enough so that you should never eat it.
Yes.
And that's okay. So you should never eat meat ever.
Neither should you.
No. You should never eat meat.
Neither should you.
No. You.
You.
No. You.
You.
You. You should never eat meat.
Neither
because
should you.
You believe that eating meat is wrong.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with an animal dying.
Just because you feel that way doesn't make it right.
Listen. I don't have an issue with an animal dying for the sake of me eating.
Okay, I don't have an issue with a child dying for the sake of me.
That's you. Okay.
That's still wrong.
No, it's your position. There's no mercy in nature.
We're not in the wild.
We're not in the wild, but we're part.
We can't look at nature and get right and wrong.
No, but
animals rape each other in nature.
No, but it's a point. There is no mercy.
It's irrelevant.
In nature.
It's irrelevant, though.
There is no mercy in nature.
It's irrelevant.
Animals kill each other. Chickens
Yeah,
kill things.
it's irrelevant.
Chickens murder worms.
It's irrelevant, though.
No, it's relevant. If you want to continue, if you want to talk to someone else, you can. I just think me and you will go on for a while.
Yeah, you're right. We're going around in circles.
Kind of hear some different perspectives.
And
Eating meat is okay if you do it right.
Absolutely.
That's my position. But
Well,
you know what?
nice to talk to you.
That was really enjoyable.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Anyone else got any? Is there any justification for me to stab a cow in the throat if I don't need to? That's what I'm asking. How do you justify it?
Wait, what's your perception about eating fish? I've always wondered what people.
It's fish are sentient beings who want to live and feel pain. It's wrong to kill them unnecessarily in the same way it's wrong to kill a chicken. To us, it's a few moments of taste pleasure. To us, it's a few moments of taste pleasure. To the animal, it's their entire life. What right do we have to take their life away?
Comprehensive argument as to why we shouldn't eat fish. I can understand
It's
why.
the same for chicken. Because they feel pain, they want to live. Why would I take that away? Fish is an animal. There's no difference. They just live in the sea.
I disagree with that because I think when you think about an animal, especially the way animals are killed, so the way cows and lambs are killed currently in factory farming, I can say that's wrong. But catching a fish, especially because you can just
suffocating for up to minutes, like 2 minutes, suffocating, can't breathe. By the trillions each year.
We've established that factory farming.
It's not factory farming. We're taking them out to sea. They suffocate because we like the way they taste.
Oh, so we're talking about fish now.
I thought that's what you wanted to talk.
Yeah. So give me your best argument as to why we shouldn't eat fish.
It's exactly the same as why we shouldn't eat any other animal. It's unnecessary. It's unjust. They feel pain. They want to live. Why would we make them suffer and die if we don't need to? Just pick up a different product in the supermarket.
I think when you present an argument like that, it sounds convincing, but I think there's a lot of assumptions and there's a lot of moral positions you're taking in the process that actually, when you actually examine them, they don't actually make a lot of sense, in my opinion, because when you even look at the way fish operate, they're eating each other as well.
But look, the point
fundamentally,
it doesn't matter what other animals do to each other.
And if you look at the pain receptors in a fish and compare it to like a cow, the fish feels far less pain.
I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know. But they feel pain.
A fish feels far less pain than a cow.
No, we don't know that. The reason that
I would be willing to bet a lot on that.
Well, the reason that we
tiny fish like this feels far, like shrimp, for example. They feel far less.
They still
pain
feel pain because it's an evolutionary advantage for them to feel pain.
Is it so eating shrimp is wrong?
Yes, absolutely wrong. Because they feel pain and they want to live. That's the same reason I believe it's wrong to kill a human.
If we discovered that plants felt pain, would you still eat them?
I'd actually think it would be morally superior to be vegan to reduce the amount of plant deaths, because there's less plants dying if we go vegan. because you have to feed all those animals the billions we're eating with plants. So if you want to reduce the amount of plant casualties, you should go vegan.
That is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. You've said that the reduction of plant death is the reason why you're eating plants.
No, what? No, what? No. Hypothetically, if you wanted,
no, that's what you
yes,
that's
hypothetically,
exactly what
yes.
You just said.
No, that's not the reason I'm doing it. But in your hypothetical of plants having feelings, then yes.
Answer the question. Would
Yes.
you eat plants if they have feelings?
Yes. Because there'd be less plant deaths. Because if I have to, look at this. I have a cow. Let me talk. If I have a cow in front of you, and a cow is eating plants all day, all they do is eat. There are more plant deaths if I feed that cow. If I just kill.
I'm asking you, is it wrong for cows to eat plants? And you said no.
No, because they're not sentient.
So what are you talking about?
Because you just gave me a hypothetical where plants are sentient beings.
No, listen to what you just said.
Oh my God.
You said it is wrong to breed cows who need to be fed by grass.
Yes, if plants are sentient. If plants are sentient. If they're sentient.
So I'm asking, is it wrong for cows to eat grass? And you're saying no. So how can those statements make sense?
You're giving me a hypothetical where plants are sentient, which doesn't seem
logic. You just said
plants do not feel any pain.
Go on PETA's website.
It's wrong when cows
we
eat
don't know. It
plants.
says something.
That doesn't make any sense.
They have sensations.
Plants haven't got
PETA's
a.
website says plants feel sensations.
Because if it's wrong, then it's wrong for cows to eat plants.
Look, you're giving me a hypothetical.
Yeah, but I'm trying to
Let me talk.
Go.
You gave me a hypothetical, a bullshit hypothetical, where plants are sentient beings.
They are. They feel sensations.
If you wanted to reduce the amount of plant deaths, you would be doing it by being vegan.
I don't have a problem with living beings dying for the sake
No,
of
me neither. I have a problem with.
Except if they're human beings.
I have a problem with sentient beings dying.
If you had a choice to kill a baby.
Oh, that's not what she's asking. That's not what she's asking. That's not what.
You say, if I had to choose between 10 babies' lives.
Oh, for God's sake! This isn't the This is not the choice you are making when you go into the supermarket and you pay for an animal to die.
I'm trying to say there's a difference. That's what happens.
Doesn't need to be that way. Not for us.
Who here eats bread?
Oh, for God's sake! I've already debunked your argument.
No,
then.
you haven't debunked.
Let me debunk it again then.
Millions of animals are
not
dying
millions.
in the production of bread.
Hey, look.
Worms, bugs, rats.
There is a difference between accidental deaths in plant agriculture and purposely stabbing an animal.
There's no consistency
in the same way, there's a difference between me accidentally hitting someone with a car and stabbing you in the throat. Intent matters. But I've already acknowledged that it would be good to reduce the amount of plant agriculture deaths. And in a vegan world where we give animals their basic fundamental rights not to be objects, we would do that. We would have vertical farms where there's no grinding up of the plants. We could have indoor farming.
Look how foxes kill cows.
Sure.
The death of a cow in nature is 100 times worse.
Yeah.
Not just, for billions of years, every single day, than a farmer, just as I would kill you in the context that I gave a moment ago. That for a farmer to kill an animal in that context, rather than not to farm and leave the animals in nature.
We wouldn't be leaving them anywhere. We're breeding them ourselves.
Well, you've got to let them go free.
No. We stop. So the reason there's billions of animals each year is because we're artificially breeding
farm them, but not kill
No,
them.
we wouldn't farm them. We stop. No. We stop breeding them. They wouldn't exist.
Okay.
We're not adding to the suffering in the wild. We just reduce the
allow
suffering.
them to breed.
These animals have. They're not. Listen, these animals aren't breeding naturally. We're sticking our.
What I want to say is.
Hey, look.
But not in a murderous way. I'm talking about what humans are
but
doing.
you're making them
I'm talking about farming or letting them go to nature.
We're not letting them go anywhere. We're not letting them go anywhere.
The humans are making decisions.
No. These animals wouldn't exist.
Or humans
no, that's not a choice we're making though, because these animals wouldn't exist. No. These. Hey, let me finish now. I've listened to you talk. These animals that we are eating and killing by the billions, they are not existing in nature. These cows with these massive udders, these chickens that are so overweight they can't walk, they do not exist in nature. When we stop breeding them, they won't be in the wild suffering, they won't exist.
What's going to happen?
They made it for half a billion years.
Yes, and then we took their genetics and we changed them.
Yeah, only over the last 10,000 years.
Yes. Do you think we're going to release these chickens in the wild? No, vegans want to stop breeding animals. In the same way, if I was breeding a new population of dogs now and stabbing them every day, and you said, stop doing that, and I said, well, if I stop, they won't exist, and carried on doing it, what would you say to me? You'd say they'd be better off extinct. Stop breeding those animals.
I actually agree with you. I'm talking about whether humans should farm a lion, that same lion you're talking about. Should humans farm him and kill that lion as quickly as possible if they feel like eating it, or allow other lions to rip the lion apart in a horrible, harrowing death?
Because if we stop breeding animals,
But I was honest enough. I started this very, very quick debate by saying I think it's immoral of me to eat meat.
Yeah.
I still say it is, but you can't admit the same.
What are you talking? No, it is immoral for me to eat meat. It is immoral for me
That's
to
the
eat
difference
meat.
between you and I. I can admit it's immoral.
I admit it's
to
immoral.
kill an animal.
Yes, I admit. I agree.
You won't say, well, you know, to put a chicken back into.
We're not doing that though. We're not doing that.
Humans farming
We're
them
not
is more moral.
No, we're not putting any animals into the wild by not eating them. We just not breed them. They don't exist.
Farming or
They don't
nature.
exist if we stop breeding them.
What's gonna happen to all these billions of animals?
Yeah, they don't exist.
Sure. What do you mean they don't exist?
We stop breeding
If we
them.
stop eating, they're going to be
Yeah.
there. What's
No. So as
They're
veganism,
just gonna die?
it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be overnight. Hey, as veganism increases gradually, the amount of animals we breed into existence gradually goes down and down and down until we stop breeding them, and then there's no beings left to exploit.
Again,
But how does that mess up the ecosystem?
This isn't. You think that what factory farming is good for the ecosystem?
No one's ever going to make that argument.
No, well, 99% of animals we eat come from factory farming.
Overpopulated. If there was far less humans, then the amount of flatulence.
Well, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist. We're talking about reality. We're talking about reality.
If we stopped eating meat, for example, and we start mass producing vegetables, that's going to have an impact on the environment.
No. We're producing less. We'd be producing less vegetables. We'd be
agriculture and farming reduces.
We would be producing less crops than we are now because we feed the billions of animals you eat with plants.
I think it's going to cause an ecosystem.
No matter what we do,
It's going to cause a bigger problem than climate change.
The leading cause of climate change is animal agriculture, methane gas from cows.
Environment
I
issues.
know, but the answer isn't
not
the
solved by
extreme
not eating
answer, which is get rid of them altogether.
Not killing an animal isn't extreme.
Well,
look how nature does it.
Exactly. We're not in nature.
Can I get a hug, honestly, mate? I honestly love the passion. No, true. Like, and I say that truly. I love the passion. I really, really do. Because I think you made some good points today. It's made me think about some stuff.
Awesome.
I'm definitely not going to go vegan though.
I used to say the same
Absolutely
thing.
not. And you're not going to eat meat, and you don't have to. And that's the beauty of living in a free society. Where
Sure,
you
we should have choices and freedom as long as our choices don't infringe on the rights and well-being of others. Then there's a problem.
Hello everyone. So the last few months I've had a lot of messages from people asking if they can support me on Patreon, they want to support me financially. So the truth is I've held off until now because I work a full-time job. I work 9 till 5 in the NHS, and I've always been of the belief that I shouldn't be taking people's money unless I'm 100% certain that I can quit my job and do activism full-time. However, I have received advice from someone who does this full-time, and they've informed me that it's not going to work out the way I want it to. It's not going to work that way because it takes time to build up the following on Patreon in order to be supported full-time. And look, it's true that working a 9 till 5 does absolutely limit my activism. I mean, at the moment, I'm essentially doing all of my editing of videos in the evenings, and I'm doing the filming of the actual videos on weekends. I do feel like it would be much more impactful if I was able to just throw myself into activism full-time. So in order to achieve this, I need to have support. I need to have financial support in order to put more of my time into promoting veganism. My only intention here is to be as effective as possible as an activist, and to promote a vegan future. I want a vegan future as quickly as possible, as I'm sure all you do. And look, I want to make it abundantly clear that I'm not here begging for money. You do not need to support me. There is no obligation to financially support me, even if you absolutely love my content. But if you do, if you are someone who feels that you're gaining value from my content, if you believe in what I'm doing, if you believe in me, then I'll put my Patreon account down below. I'm just going to go for this. I'm going to see what happens, see how much support I get, see if it's going to be feasible for me to look to jumping into this full time. I want to make it completely clear that regardless, if I don't get a single person choosing to support me, well, every evening I'm going to be coming home and editing. Every weekend I'm going to be on the streets talking to people about veganism, because this is what matters to me now. And whatever it takes to create a vegan world as quickly as possible, my life is dedicated. And I give you my word that that's the case, regardless of whether I have to work 9 till 5 and do it after work, or whether I'm able to jump into this and see where it takes me. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. whether it's sharing a video, whether it's giving me your encouragement, or whether it's supporting me on Patreon. Thank you.